Yes, my name is Helge Olsen. Thank you for inviting me to speak, and thank you all for being here. I run this company. We have our headquarters in Norway. We have a subsidiary in Canada and one in Portugal. So we are a global company, and we have a solution. First of all, I'm going to play a little video to show the product.
And I've been a commercial fisherman all my life. I've seen a lot of pots lost. I feel terrible about it. When you lose a pot like this, it's fishing for years and years and years. It's still doing damage to the environment. We've often thought, is there a way to stop this?
Et eksempel er løsningen som nettopp utviklet for teiner av Resqunit.
So I'm very interested in Resqunit. I've seen it actually in action in Norway. It's a very simple solution to a larger problem.
We just leave him up there for a little while I talk about, as you saw in the video, the product is a backup buoy system, but also can be an escape mechanism for trapped animals. We also used the cotton twine in our first version of the product, which we found to be too unreliable. It could take anything from 2 weeks to over a year for the cotton twine to dissolve. And of course, with a backup buoy like this, it doesn't matter if the buoy comes up in the middle of the winter when there's no boats out. So we took it back to the drawing table and we developed an electronic release mechanism. So now you can set the timer with an app to 1 day, 2 day, a minute even, 5 years, whatever suits you. And then if you go out to haul your gear and the buoy is missing, you come back at the agreed time and the buoy will be on the surface and you can retrieve your gear. What I learned here yesterday was that we are right now, with the current technology of cleaning up, we are actually cleaning up traps at a cost of north of $300 per trap. That's 3,500 NOK per trap in cost of cleaning up with the technology available. And if we take that number and what we do know close to shore fisheries in Norway, the lobster fishery, the crab fisheries, we lose around 30,000 traps a year. And in the future, we're going to have to clean up those 30,000 traps. And at that price tag, we're looking at 100 million Norwegian kroners, or 10 million US dollars, to clean up the traps we are losing this year. And we lost the same amount last year, and we're going to lose 30,000 next year. This guy here sweating, poor guy, you can argue he's doing an important, great job. It's important to clear the water out of the room, but the problem is that it doesn't make as much sense as we would have hoped. It doesn't make sense until we actually turn the tap off. So what we're offering at Resqunit with our product is to, in inshore fisheries with the traps, to turn off the tap. And we do this at 1/3 of the cost of the cleanup I just talked about. And we do it with this product. This is not an idea, it's not a prototype, it's not something we want to do. This is something we're doing. We have manufactured 5,000 of these, and we have sold close to all of them, 4,200 I think. And we are manufacturing right now 5,000 more. Our customers are spread all over the world. Most of the customers are using it for what we intended, but we also see other use cases. Some fishermen are using it to fish with submerged buoys to avoid theft and poaching. So they use our buoy as the primary buoy. Some customers are using it for scientific gear. I don't even know what that big stone ball is, but I know it's something valuable inside that they want to have a backup system to find in case it's lost. We have a celebrity on our team. I don't know if you guys know this man. It's Captain Sigge Hansen from Deadliest Catch. He is a big shareholder in the company, but most of all, he's been a valuable source for us in his knowledge and his connections in the industry. When I talked to him yesterday, last night after the conference, he said a quote that I'm going to steal from him. He said that we have to either pay to erase our past or invest in our future. A couple of years ago, we did a research, or we were part of a research project in Flødevigen. The Marine Institute in Norway was testing out our equipment, and it went horribly for us. We had only some early versions of the prototypes. The electronics didn't work, they were leaking, was a lot of problems. But there were a few takeaways we could take from the report that are still valid today. And that is that the buoys are visible on the surface, even though they're flat in design. The buoyancy is sufficient even in currents. And the respooling and rearming of the product is quick and simple. We have seen a lot of political interest and a growing interest in this problem. To the right here, you see the Minister of Fisheries in Prince Edward Island. That's one of the richest lobster fisheries in the world. He came all the way to Norway so we could demonstrate the product to him. In the middle, you see the Minister of Fishery in Nova Scotia. And my hero, on the far left here, the guy in the middle, is the Minister of Fisheries in the Azores Island. The Azores is a group of islands, an autonomous zone under the Portuguese government. They have their own government. But this is a guy that saw that it's better to invest in the future than to pay to erase your past. So he actually purchased our product for all licensed traps in the Azores Island. And we are delivering those early next year. And this is an important signal, we feel, to the world that it's not necessarily fair to ask the fishermen to bear all the costs for preventive measures. We have to remember that the fishermen are out there and doing work for us, and they're doing dangerous work for us. They're collecting food for us to eat, and there are some fallouts from that profession. But when we look at the cost I talked about earlier, and we think about who is paying for that, then it is the governments, it is in Norway, the Retailers Environment Fund, and NGOs perhaps, but by and large it's a societal cost. And we are now asking the fishermen with our product, and successfully so, but we're still asking the fishermen to bear the cost for saving the society for this future cost. Of course, the adoption of technologies like ours and others would be expedited if we could have some incentives politically to create better and faster adoption. The Minister of Fishery in Portugal, he decided to buy this and subsidize it 100% for his fishermen. But it could be part subsidy also on the table. We also have seen a lot of different incentives politically for fisheries around the world where we have been working. We have fishing seasons that we all are familiar with. This is to kind of make sure that the species are fished sustainably. And here in Norway, we have a 2-month lobster fishery season in the south of Norway. Typically, a fisherman would have 10 traps. If one of those traps are lost, it'll keep fishing for 12 months. And that is actually equivalent to fishing with all the 10 traps for 3 months. So if we can have technology that would assure no traps being lost, you could extend the season, maybe not for a month, but for a week or 2 weeks. And that could be an incentive for fishermen to want to buy equipment like this. Similarly, you can do the same with quotas, where that is applicable. In Canada, they have a tag system. And a typical fisherman there has a license for 275 traps. And the fisherman gets his tags once a year, 1 tag for each trap. And if he loses some traps, he got to apply for getting new tags. He can't just go to the store and buy 10 new traps and keep fishing. And that could even be extended to where the fisherman cannot get new tags within the same year. Would increase the incentive to not lose gear and to spend more time searching for lost gear. This is, I'm just going to go real quick through the last slides. This is our next product that we're starting to develop now. We're going to add some technology. We're going to add GPS, alert systems, and also data sensors to collect data from the seafloor. I'm going to skip that, and I'm going to tell us about our dream is to have a project in the national park here with scientific work where we can deploy a significant amount of units and measure, so we know that the traps being fished with our product is not being lost. And if we can have control groups and we can measure that, then our bold claim, that is that we can stop ghost fishing from traps, can be verified. Thank you.